Tonight on Reality Reflex, the queens are doing a spoof on American Horror Story. What queens are going to make it through the acting challenge? Let's find out on RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 6.
Act the fool, girl.
Going into tonight, all of the drama that was started was Kylie Sonique Love saying that she was never going to be in the bottom again. She's never going to see her name in that name tray. So there was no vendetta really at the beginning of this episode. It was just Sonique standing up for herself and her drag.
Thank you.
So the challenge this week was that they were going to do a show called American Horror Story.
Gaga Chandra.
So for this week, this is my top 3 queens' best performances of the week. Number 3 for me this week was Jan. She was killing it as the over-the-top, happy, bubbly bitch on Glee or what have you, but she was serving it up. She was fabulous. She was doing exactly what you needed to do for this role, and she just slayed. Good for you, Jan. You definitely deserved the acknowledgement this week.
Yes, bitch. Work.
Number 2 for me was Eureka O'Hara. So she came out and she was doing a really good visual of Kathy Bates from Freak Show. She had the bearded drag perfect, the wig was perfect. She was just fantastic. Sometimes her personality got a little out of whack, just like last week as I was saying, but for the most part, she kept it together. Number 1 for me was Ginger Minj as Emma Roberts, and I couldn't not put her in my top because to me, I feel she was given a role that just doesn't fit her at all. She's not a young teenage girl, but she really sold the Mean Girls illusion fantasy. And so that's why for me, Ginger Minj was number 1 this week.
They eat her up every single time.
And now for my bottom 3 queens, the worst performances of the week. Number 3 for me for the worst performance of the week was unfortunately Pandora Boxx. As you guys know, going into this season, I was rooting for her the most. She did the look of 2 characters with Pandora Boxx's face and Pandora Boxx's mannerisms. I didn't see enough variation in her acting skills to really pull this one off. So she was definitely just not doing it for me. And so unfortunately, even though I love the drag and the outfits, the acting itself was not the tea. Number 2 worst for me this week was a tie between Trinity and Raja as the twins because they were just not giving it. It was not serving, and I will say that Raja was doing a little better than Trinity because even though the judges hated that stupid voice she was doing, it was at least a character, where Trinity was just doing basically how Trinity would talk. And granted, it wasn't as bad as her first time acting where she wasn't even looking at the camera, but this time around it still wasn't that good for me.
Fuck my drag, right?
Number 1 for me for the worst queen of the week was unfortunately to me Kylie Sonique Love, and that is such a shocker because the judges thought they loved it. Maybe there was too much of that pre-finale build-up where they're making her actress skills out to be bad, and that influenced my opinion. But at the same time, I was looking for a legit Jessica Lange fantasy. Hello, I wanted to see, her mannerisms, but I wasn't getting that from Kylie at all. So unfortunately, yes, she had the look pretty much together. She could have even boosted the look up a little bit, I'd say. So unfortunately, this one was not the one for me. And now for the top 3 shadiest moments of the week. Number 3 was when all of the queens agreed that Jan was giving an 11 the whole time last week on the Table Talk episode.
I feel very attacked!
Number 2 for me was when Michelle and Carson was reading the whole cast for all of them having bad acting skills.
If you don't have star quality,
Baby.
get the out of here.
And the number 1 shadiest moment for me was when the judges once again put Akira and Raja up against each other, just like in season 11.
I did not sign up for this.
And now let's get to the runways. This week's theme was super gothy, all the good stuff. One of my first favorite looks that came out that was super goth to me was Trinity K. Bonet in her, widow outfit, from the 1940s or something like that. It was fabulous. It was over the top. It was definitely goth to me as well. Just the raven feathers, just complete fabulosity. Everybody loves a statement hat, and that bitch had it. I also loved, now I don't necessarily know if this read as goth to me, just like a really sexy outfit, but it was definitely a sexy outfit, and that was Raja O'Hara. Came down commanding that runway. She looked fabulous. Like, she just looked gorgeous. Like, I mean, it was truly a wonderful outfit, a great choice. It just was the shit. Another winning goth look for me was Jan, who was kind of doing like a caricature of goth. She had the eyes, she had the makeup, she had the hair, she had, you know, the Satan symbol or what have you. She was giving full goth fantasy the whole time. Oh, and then comes out Kylie Sonique Love. Now this look, I don't know if it was goth at all either, but it was showing off that body and that ass, and that's really all that matters in this world, right? So anyways, she was looking fabulous. This looks like Sheriff I could turn back time, like turned up to Jan 11. Like, it was just amazing. And now here we're getting down to the elimination facts. So basically, spoiler alert, if you don't want to know who went home or what have you, don't watch any further past this checkpoint, all right?
Go back to Party City where you belong.
So the judges nominated the top queen of this week was going to be Kylie Sonique Love for giving her Jessica Lange realness. Shockingly, the bottom two, season 11 sisters and queens, A'keria C. Davenport and Raja O'Hara, found themselves in the bottom, facing off against each other once again, just like season 11 when Raja was dressed up like Groot. The lip sync assassin this week was Manila Luzon, who came out looking fabulous as ever, just like she did, 10 years ago when she was on season 3? She was looking fantastic. She was there to be the lip sync assassin and the true queen of All Star 6, and so she was coming back and she was looking good and she was ready to take Kylie Sonique Love down. But that's where she was wrong, because you know what? Kylie pulled out that Morgan McMichaels lip sync slay and basically sent Manila off without another lip sync win, because she did her flips, she did her gymnastics, she did everything us long-term fans have been waiting to see.
Well, guess what, Mimi? We did.
And with that said, a choice had to be made. At this point in time, it was pretty clear that one of their track records was better and worse than the others. And so unfortunately, it was time for A'keria C. Davenport to see the door. Going back to the opening drama, was there any truth in the tea? Well, this episode, yes, there was, because Kylie Sonique Love said that she is never going to be in the name tray again. And lo and behold, this week, she was choosing the name. So she was sending these bitches home left and right, giving no fucks. Well, so anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this episode, and I give this week's episode 3 RuPaul's Drag Race statues out of 5. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much.